The SABC has appointed Moshoeshoe Monare as the Group Executive for News and Current Affairs, replacing Phathiswa Magopeni, who was dismissed for misconduct. Well, let's get more on this particular story. We're joined now by Media Monitoring Africa's William Bird. William, it's been not so long search, but certainly a difficult search trying to find Magopeni's replacement. What do you make of this appointment?
Well, I mean, I think it came as a bit of a surprise to some, just because of the fact that they'd advertised it so shortly after Phathiswa Magopeni had her services terminated, and we thought that there was going to be a longer CCMA period. That said, I think we welcome the fact that the SABC has moved expeditiously. We don't know who the shortlisted candidates were, but certainly Mr. Monare seems to come with a strong pedigree of news knowledge and journalism knowledge and a lot of experience, albeit largely in formerly print news areas. But he's got his work cut out for him. But I think we should welcome it and wish him all the very best.
When you think about some of the allegations that Ms. Magopeni made at the time of the disciplinary inquiry into her own ability to do her job, what do you think that does in as far as the things that he will need to be mindful of?
Well, look, the SABC is always going to be a big political football. There are going to be various players who are going to try and influence outside, from external sources, political parties, to internal forces, trying to push for particular influence. I think in that regard, what we have to hope is that, Mr. Monare is well acquainted with the SABC's editorial policies. Certainly his pedigree and his previous experience doesn't suggest that he's going to be someone who would come there and if someone says, we need you to do this, that he's going to say, yes, that's fine. I think one of the legacies that Phathiswa has left has been a really strong emphasis on editorial independence. And if anything, the circumstances around her departure will serve to really highlight that anyone who's going to try and influence Mr. Monare in any kind of inappropriate manner is going to really face a significant uphill battle. So to that extent, she's at least laid the groundwork for what we hope is going to be a long and successful term.
When we look at, again, the issue of how quickly this appointment was made, do you think that the SABC, from a management perspective, is moving into more stable territory, that it's not left for months or even years on end without a head?
No, certainly it's to their credit. The SABC, we've had a senior executive team that's been functioning, broadly speaking, really well over the last 5 years, as well as a board that has been functioning broadly really well over the last 5 years, which is almost unheard of in any public institution. So the fact that the SABC is doing this, the fact that soon after the termination, the advert was placed, they went through interview processes. I think we saw some media releases about the fact that they were looking, there were some adverse stories about one or two of the incidents around that. But the reality is they went through a process, they've gone through and they've appointed someone. There's no suggestion that this was handed to them by a minister or anything nefarious like that, which we've seen before. So to that extent, the fact that we're seeing due process being followed and just good corporate governance, I think these are really strong positive signs.
All right, William, let's leave it there for tonight. Media Monitoring Africa's William Bird.